Whether you're a player who's moving up from beginner to intermediate, or you're a player who seems to be perpetually stuck at the 3.035 level, in this video I'm going to share 3 mistakes that I see players of that level make all the time and that could really hold you back. And I'm super happy that I can actually show you real life footage, and that is thanks to Talene Tennis. Talene has her own pretty new YouTube channel, so after you're done watching this video, go and hop over to her channel. I think it's fantastic that finally a female is posting matches, and I also think that she and the players she's playing on her channel are exactly in that range that will benefit from the 3 tips that I'm going to give you in this video. The link to her channel also is down below. Let's get started. What are you noticing in these next few points? Did you notice how Kyle momentarily stopped playing when he thought his own ball was going to be out? At your current level, your opponent might not even see that, and or they may not have the ability yet to expose that because they don't have placement control as much, and or they're not hitting quite as hard yet. But you can bet your hiney that at higher levels, players will jump on that opportunity. If you're 2-3 meters off your best spot to recover, that leaves one side of the court wide open, and they have the ability to control the ball with pace and placement to expose that. So you got to make sure that you're not calling your own shot. Part of that problem is probably that you haven't hit millions and millions of balls like the pros who can judge pretty much whether a ball is a millimeter or not out. They just have the experience of knowing exactly after they finish their shot at contact already, basically, whether the ball is going to be in or out. So make a concentrated effort that you only stop and play when somebody calls it out verbally or when they give you the finger. That is when you're done with the point. That is when you can mentally disengage. And of course, you always want to be ready for your opponent to get the ball back, even though it was a good serve. Second issue, you're only playing points, pretty much, from the position that you play in when you are getting balls fed to you. Remember your very first lesson, or the first couple of lessons, what did the coach say? Go back to the baseline. And what 90.9% of players then do, they either stand right on the baseline, or because that feels a little weird, they go just a little bit behind it. And as coaches then, we feed you the ball exactly there because we're focusing on so many other things, on the grip, on the swing path, on the whatever it is, and we want to make you successful, of course. So we're not, with a newer player, are going to feed a really tough, deep ball. We might do that then later with more advanced players, and we simply might also be too lazy or too tired to consistently and constantly yell, back behind the baseline. So both Talene and Kyle tend to hug the baseline a little bit too much and fail to adjust to shorter balls. They're not moving up, which then often leads to balls that are below your ideal strike zone from hip to shoulder, and you're losing control. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're outright missing the ball, but you're not hitting the best quality shot that you possibly could. Or, of course, which happens at lower level a little bit more to my mind, the balls jump over shoulders. And of course, that loses to control of the ball. Two drills for that. One is a ball machine drill. I call it the half X drill. And what the machine does, it feeds you a shorter ball, it feeds you a deeper ball. Both on the forehand, you could set your machine that it covers both backhands and forehands, of course. What you're trying to do is you're always recovering back to the center of the court and then adjusting to the shorter ball and to the deeper ball so that the pathway in which you move looks like a half X. The other one is a rally drill that you can do in warm-up, even in your own head, or you do it with your partner, and you're calling the bounce, and you call it out loud. So when the ball is shorter, you say short, and you move up, or you can say up. Either way is fine. You're judging the ball. That is usually one of the issues that newer players have. They have issues judging how deep, how high, how fast, what width the ball has, and what kind of spin the ball has, and that leads to not being in the right position. So if it's short, say short, move up to it. If you're holding your ground, and by the way, I would just start back a smidgen more, about here, because it's always easier to move forward than moving back. So if you hold this position around here, you say hold. And of course, when it's a higher, deeper ball and you're being pushed back, and it's easier to drop back, to take the ball when it's back in your strike zone, you say back. So it's up, hold, back. Short. Short. Deep. Back. Back, deep, short, up, hold, something. Pro tip that a whole lot of people frown upon. If you're doing this drill and you have a hard time keeping the ball in play, use green dot balls. They're a little bit more pressureless, they travel a little slower, and they might just give you that extra split millisecond, whatever it is that your brain needs to judge the height, depth, pace, width, and the spin. Mistake number 3, not making tactical adjustments, either at all or way too late. Obviously, you have to realize how you're losing a succession of points in a certain way. And again, that has a lot to do with experience. But if you're losing 3 points the same way in one game, that should be a sign for you to make an adjustment. Kyle in the first game here misses 3 returns because he fails to adjust back a little bit, just to give himself a little bit more time. That's a super easy fix. Talene hits really good serves, not necessarily super hard, but very deep. And if you're hugging the baseline, you're just not having the time to take a proper swing to prepare properly. So move back. Remember when you initially returned from here and then you step back to give you more time, you may also have to slide over just a little bit more to still be on the bisector of an angle. Kyle, maybe I'll give you that. You didn't see that. But we do see that you do it at the beginning of the match and you're still doing it at the end of the set. So that needed a change. And on that one, we might also have to reframe what it means to make a tactical change. A lot of players see it as, wow, one part of my game, one shot, whatever it is not working. That's a weakness. That's terrible. That shouldn't happen. If you could see it as, A, I've noticed that I lost points in a certain way, and 2, B, I have the ability to do something about it. I'm going to try something new because that is strength. And now I'm basically putting it on their plate a little bit and see, can they adjust to that change? So tactical changes, to my mind, are never a weakness. Thank you again, Talene. Awesome channel. And for you all, go hop over to her channel because it's a fantastic opportunity to learn from players of a similar level.